Miss Mikey is a superhero. Whenever someone has something to say, she comes in, puts on her red ribbon, not a red cape, because the red ribbon signifies HIV and AIDS awareness. So go ahead and tighten that red ribbon up and go to wherever she needs to go. Michael Lamb is a person that is human. He makes mistakes. He learned from his mistakes. He accepted failure and learned from it. He's the one that swallows 3 pills a day. He's the one that goes to the doctor's appointments. And he's humble. So that's where Miss Mikey steps in. When it's time to speak out and let people know, hey, this is what's going on, to people like Michael. I decided to talk about it because it's talked about, but the visibility aspect isn't really there, so it's not really tangible. No, and I'm not saying come up and grab me and like, oh yeah, you know, this is what HIV is. You know, I want you to be able to see someone's journey, not, you know, not just mine. You know, this is someone else's journey, and it could be harder than this. It could be they're just starting out their journey. So I decided to talk about it because there's over 1 million people that are living with this disease, that are diagnosed with this disease. So we need to respect everybody's story that wants to come forth and kind of break the stigma, and that's what I wanted to do, was kind of to shake the stigma or stomp the stigma out. So that's why I decided to talk about it, because everybody has this look that's so stuck on HIV, when it's like, no, HIV doesn't look like that. It could, but it also looks like this. It looks like aunties, uncles, cousins. It's everywhere, and that's why I decided to talk about it, to let everybody know, hey, it's more than just me. My inspiration for doing this was definitely losing a friend. Losing a friend that was fighting the same battle as me, and then seeing who else was fighting this battle and who else wanted to give up. So my inspiration was definitely death that hit close to home, and seeing people reaping more over someone that lost this battle that I'm fighting was definitely enough inspiration for me to not only keep going, but also to tell my story and their story. The purpose of Let's Talk About It is to be relatable, is to be able to talk about it and willing and open and just real, raw and uncut, blood, honest truth. Really blunt, really, this is what it is, but this is not what it has to continue to be. This is your situation right now, but let's see how we can come about changing your situation. Let's talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more it'll be easier to accept. I see this going far. I see this going everywhere. I see this going to the moon and back. I see this expanding, and I see this growing. I see this growing. I see this just touching many places and many people. And that's the exciting part about it. I don't really know where it's going. I just know it's going somewhere, and it's going far. The best moment happening since Let's Talk About It dropped is getting my EIN number, officially becoming a nonprofit, and also when I tested someone that was positive, which is why it's not a great moment because they came back positive. The great moment inside of that very dark moment, that very lonely, that very vulnerable moment, the positive that I got out of that was that I was able to live out Let's Talk About Its mission, to be relatable. I was able to say genuinely and truthfully, look, I know exactly what you're feeling, I know exactly what you're going through, and I know exactly what you just read, what you thought you just read. You thought you just read something that says dead, or you've been slain, or your life is over. You know, nobody can relate to a positive test result unless you've gotten one. So I was blessed enough to be there at that situation with that individual at such a tough time and say, look, I know what's going on. And then I got that person into care, and any questions they had, I or their doctor would answer, because I have HIV, but I don't know everything about HIV. But I know enough about my HIV to help you with your journey, to make it easier if I could, or make it more so. The realization factor was there at that moment when that person found out their status, and I was blessed enough to be there to help them through that. The worst experience is definitely putting my campaign in someone else's hand and letting them kind of push it in a way that steered away from the message. But that was a lesson learned, and it's definitely positive vibes, and it's definitely everything is back on track. My love life, but my sex life is great. Good sex is safe sex, so my sex life is great. My love life is, I'm happy with the situation. People's reaction was like, what? Oh my God, no, not this Mikey, no, not this, or oh, well, I knew it, or oh, that was bound to happen. I got mixed reactions. I got a lot of love and respect and a lot of thank yous for telling my story, coinciding with somebody else's story, speaking for people that have lost this battle. It was crazy. The reaction was crazy. I got some emotional ones. I got some people like, no, it can't happen. No, not you, not you. And it's like, yes, it's me, but don't worry, I'm good. Just let's make sure it don't happen to you, which is why I'm doing this. Like, I got so much love, shade, and support, but it's all good now. Like, I got, like, the love is what keeps me going. I don't really hear too much, so when I do hear something bad or when I need a little bit of motivation, I'll be like, hey, what do people say about Let's Talk About It? Like, in a bad way, and I don't really hear too much, so I'm still getting some good vibes. Nothing but good vibes. Poetry was not my way at all. I was just gonna sit down, look, y'all, this is what it is, and this is what I'm doing, living with this disease. But it was actually brought to my attention to do a spoken word by my then PR manager, Sharitha Davis. Shout outs to her. She's the one that actually sat me down and said, no, you're gonna write a story, you're gonna write a poem and deliver it in a spoken word format. She sent me 2 links from Knowledge is Power, their campaign. Great campaign, shout outs to you all. And I listened to Foxy Brown 730 off her Broken Silence album, picked up my pen and just went for what I knew. And when I called people, they were so gagged and amazed, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do that. So that's how I decided to do it, because when I wrote something, it came off great and it was, you know, receptive, and I took off from there. So like I said, it wasn't my idea. Sharitha's the one that really, you know, put that pen in my hand. Wow, a lot of people. As far as music-wise, so I listen to Lauryn Hill, Jay-Z, Nas, Kanye, Lil Wayne, Nicki, Missy, Foxy Brown, 3D Not T. She's on the independent circuit. Great artist. Just a lot of people. I admit I pick and choose and listen and take notes. And one person in the LGBT community, Donatello Jr. Dunk, I've been listening to him since he dropped his 6 foot, 7 foot freestyle, and it's just amazing to see the things that he says and comes up with. And a lot of people inspire me to write. A lot of people inspire me to write, and it's just the people that reach out to me that has something to say, so I actually use their stories. I just deliver them, and it's like, one day, hopefully they'll be talking deeper than the disease with you, but we'll wait till that day happens. I'll do it for now. My latest project, Miss Mikey's Cookbook. I officially got my ISBN number. It's on its way. Y'all said I could cook up a pot, cook up a mess. Here's how. On a positive note, another book that's in the brainstorming process, but it's coming. Broken Silence will be here very soon. And my short film, Let's Talk About It. It'll be here shortly.